Hello and welcome back to my channel. I have come back from Iron Lung. Holy shit. This video is going to be mostly rambling. I apologize if that's not your type of video. I'm going to try to edit this as best as I can and try not to glaze Mark too much. I have a different perception than what everybody else that I have seen has had of the movie. These are good things. And it's just my take on the movie. So I could just be wrong. Anyway, let's get right to it, okay? Right off the bat, the cinematography... Holy shit. The cinematography gave, like, so much unique perspectives, and it is... Okay. What I agree with and what I've seen a lot of being said is that the first half of the movie starts pretty slow, and then the second half of the movie has a better rhythm to it and a better pacing, and it's just a bit more engaging. But again, that depends on the person, and it's a bit more subjective. I'm gonna try not to spoil too much, but the second half feels more vulnerable, if that makes any sense. The second half feels more vulnerable, and the first half feels very robotic and emotions, even though I am feeling them and feeling angry, it's very pushed down. Whereas in the second half, we experience things with the convict. We experience why his perspective changes, and he's fully locked in. This is really difficult. This is really difficult to talk about without spoiling too much, but hopefully my point is getting across. Yeah, the movie did not feel like a YouTuber made it. Hollywood, take notes. Mark's acting. I know there was a lot of complaints about Mark feeling like Mark, but me personally, I did not feel... I felt it during one or two moments, but they were very, like, short feelings, and then I was like, oh yeah. No, I don't see Mark, actually. I can see where people can't disconnect or remove Markiplier from his characters. You see Mark in gameplays so often that you kind of, when he does yell in serious roles, like, unseriousness is the character in some way. But in my eyes, it didn't really affect much. I kind of just saw the character for the character, but that doesn't make me better than you. I don't know. His stronger moments were when he was angry and emotional and scared. Oh my god, the moments when he was terrified, I felt terrified. When he felt claustrophobic and hopeless, I felt hopeless. I think his weaker moment probably would be his confused looks in acting. When he was confused, I don't know what it is exactly, but the moments when he is supposed to be confused, I don't know. Maybe someone else can explain it a bit better for me, but that was a bit of his weaker moment, was just him like, huh? But when he was terrified and angry and, like, expressing the stronger emotions, that was, like, when he really shined. Yeah. Special effects. The monster. God, I wish we seen more of it. I think... 1, 2... I'm trying to remember how many moments. I think there was 3 or 4 moments in the entire film where we actually see, and not just being skeletal pictures on the screen. Every single time I loved, oh god, the cinematography is so good, and the special effects, it's not like end game levels of like, oh, realism close. Does that make sense? It's just the perfect amount of special effects. Here's realism. Here's like, you can tell it's special effects. It's right in the middle where it's uncannily leaning towards realism, but it's special effects. I don't know why I tried to explain it like that. One of the things I disagree with is the audio for the dialogue. I heard the majority, if not all, the lines relatively clear. It could just be me being able to decipher sounds and that just being like a personal thing. I do have people in my life that don't necessarily speak clear, so I constantly have to decipher what they say, and that might just be like a personal experience being able to decipher that type of thing, but other people may not have that type of, I can't think of another word, but ability, I guess. Me personally, most, if not all the lines, maybe one or two, maybe 3 lines, but I think those lines were intentionally not supposed to be heard by the audience. And also, I think maybe different cinemas have different audio settings or different, like, I don't know. I heard pretty much everything clearly. Again, probably just a personal thing. Simon's backstory and history and motivations and personality commentary throughout the film, I loved. I wish there was more of that. Maybe at one point have like, but I don't know if this would make sense in the film. I'm going to relate this to something. Prison Break. When prisoners have like a tennis ball or a ball in their cell, they bounce it around, just letting time fly. You bounce it through, hit the wall, bounce back to you, catch it. And it's just a repetitive cycle of that. And then one of the times you throw it and it bounces off course, then you have to go get it, bring it back. I would have liked to see something similar or that, but I don't know how the convict would be able to bring that onto the Iron Lung, because his mission is like, it's serious, you'd need to like be focused. Just a thought. His backstory, those flashbacks were, wow. All of that, how do I say this? Those flashbacks really add to the film, because otherwise we would have literally never left the Iron Lung as an audience. Maybe other 2 times, but other than that, we don't see anything outside of this contained iron box. Metal box? Now on to the part everybody's probably waiting for. The amount of blood is undoubtedly the most I have ever seen. Think the Titanic, but replacing it with blood. I think genuinely that is a good comparison. Does that explain how much blood there is? Probably a little bit less, but that's essentially the feeling and the amount of my hair. Fuck, whatever. The amount of blood that's on screen is batshit. Body horror. Vomiting blood. There's like moments where we see like boils and blood coils. That shit was well done. The last minutes of the movie, if you know, you know, felt like cave diving videos. With water. The claustrophobia was what I like about the second half more than the first half is that it feels like Simon is more expressive of how he feels than the first half, where he's closed off, internalizing everything. What I've seen from people say about the film is that like the first half and the second half being so different is based on Mark's acting, and that could be part of it, but I feel like it's more about first half is Simon being closed off, and the second half is him being so much more vulnerable, and that also is shown on screen via like how we see Simon. His bangs are in his face. He's like a shadow or like a robotic person. He just feels like he's going through these motions because he's supposed to. And in the second half, after his perspective changes, he feels like so much more human because, without spoiling too much, his mind gets fucked with. And we see him descent. The more he descends, the more human he becomes, and more relatable he becomes, and more expressive and vulnerable. Like it, I know I'm repeating myself, but that's how it feels. And that's not. Part of it could be because Mark, as an actor, starts to like gradually get more in tune with the character, but that also works with the story. I don't know. That was a very lucky coincidence in Mark's case. If he didn't intentionally get into the role until the later half of the film. I'm trying to express what I'm saying, but I don't know if that's coming across as best as I can put into words. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to get at. Oh god, what else? There's so many more things I could talk about. I probably forgot a few things. The unique small moments of where things fall over, things trigger an emotion from Simon, tape falling off, and he watches the tape fall off, and after it falls off, he gets triggered by it. I need Hollywood to take notes. I am so serious. I'm gonna shut up. The transitions, the way he draws, and then the shot of the line he made transitions to like wires, and the tape X transitions to something else. I fucking love the visual direction of this movie. It's Hollywood, take notes. Mark did this, all of this. I can't remember if this is confirmed or not. Less than $3 million. He made this movie, 2-hour-long movie, by the way, with a budget of under $3 million. Let that sink in. Oh, and the eyeball shots. Oh! I'm getting myself overwhelmed by just remembering all these things. I hope this doesn't come across poorly. I want to go see this movie again. When it gets on streaming, I hope it gets on streaming. I'm also going to watch and buy this physically. If there's a physical copy that I can buy. Mark, please sell physical copies if you can. Please. The vagueness of the world. I love that. I know a few other people that weren't knowledgeable of the game didn't necessarily like that. They wanted more answers, but I personally, I love vagueness in things because then I get to fill in the blanks. and there's discussions to be had, and when not all the answers are given to you, you get to being invested in figuring things out yourself. I know not everybody likes that, which is fine. This film is not going to be for everybody. It really isn't. Especially if you don't like slow burn horror or psychological horror or secluded horror, you won't like Iron Lung. Or like a concept horror. This should go without saying that Mark has a future in movies. He has such a unique vision, and it's vastly different than what Hollywood is doing. I keep bringing up Hollywood, but like seriously, we need uniqueness for the love of God. Like his take on how to express human expression, not just through like story, but like dread and regret and lore. That's where I feel like Mark as a storyteller kind of shines, but also isolation. And I'm trying to think of what In Space also did. Oh, dark humor. I know that's not what many people are talking about with this movie, but there are moments of dark humor. That damn chair that he broke in like the first half of the movie, it doesn't change. It's just there. You see it the entire time. It's a broken chair. Now on to my critiques for Mark. There's 3 of them. The first one, pacing. A lot of moments felt repeated and felt like you could either like montage or like shrink them down a little bit. I don't know how else you would do it in a space like that. But like a 2 hour and 8 minutes could probably be shrink down, cut maybe 15, half an hour, basically from the first half. The second half, no notes, keep it the way it is. But the first half, it was a bit slow. It didn't feel much like it was building. It felt like we were stagnant, and then something happened, and then we went back down. And then it started kind of going like this. Okay, another thing. I personally would have loved more creepy imagery other than the monster, but again, just a me thing. I don't know, maybe there's not more creatures besides the one, but I would have loved to see other similar things, or maybe, I don't know, more creepy imagery that we could see from a different perspective than just in the sub. But I think part of the reason why this movie shines is that we are secluded with the convict, and it feels like we're experiencing all of this with him. And if another perspective would have been brought in, or if we got like a third person outside of the sub, then maybe it would feel a bit different, maybe. I don't know, but more creepy imagery would have been nice. Another thing, the dialogue at times felt too dialogue-y. Is that a word? It felt like dialogue that was written for a movie. It didn't feel natural, like I was watching somebody genuinely in a sub experiencing all these things. It felt like I was watching a movie. I don't know how else to explain that, but it felt like I was watching a movie and being self-conscious that it's a movie. And like dialogue was intentionally placed at this moment to explain this thing, which kind of takes you out of it. Not all the dialogue was like that. And then also there was a few moments where they repeated certain things. I understand the constantly being like, motto, motto, motto. The main character being like, yes, I know the motto. Fucking shut up about it. That repeating that I understand completely. It's good for like the writer of the movie to be conscious of that as well and making commentary about that. Like, yes, I know the audience would be a little bit annoyed by the repeated, like, this is for the greater good. I don't know ratings. Out of 10, I would give this a solid 7.5 or an 8. Probably 7.5 because it's right in between 7 and 8. This is what's really complex for me. I never know how to score anything because yes, I always love things. If you watch my channel, I almost always give things that I watch like it was great. But genuinely, scores. Jeez. How do I score this movie? I don't know. At this point in time, my mind is going to 7, 7.5, and 8. I'm very indecisive, so like take that score as a grain of salt. My perspective on movies also changes over time. Again, if you watch me, you know this, especially if you see me react to shows. That one year, the first season, I'm like, yes, I have this perspective on this show. And then the second season, I'm like, oh, the things I thought in season 1, don't agree with them anymore. New perspective, season 2. And then season 3, I'm like, season 2 was wrong. I agree with season 1. That's how I watch shows over a span of years. And then out of 5, how would I score this? I think 3.5 out of 5 or 3. A 3 or a 3.5 out of 5. And then a 7 or 8 out of 10. All in all, I really like this movie. The cinematography, the camera shots, the unique camera angles and certain moments that like connect things was very unique, and the vagueness of the world, I just that those couple of things like really shine. Oh, also Mark. Yeah, props to Mark in his acting. He did, in comparison to Edge of Sleep, his acting did improve. Applause to him. Okay, so that was my review. What do you guys think? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Did you disagree? Have a conversation with me in the comments. Have a conversation with each other. Please comment. Have a discussion in the comments. I would really like to know more perspectives on the movie itself. I'm so worried that I'm gonna post this and like spoil it for someone. If you like the video, I do reactions to other things on a whim. Hopefully I see you again in the future. Okay, bye.